record. Hello. So on today's video, I want to talk about intimacy and just a little story. This is gonna be a little bit of a rant since today Katya read in the book about the gene keys. Do you remember the author's name?
Richard Rudd.
Richard Rudd. If you're interested, I'm not gonna go deeper into that, but they, basically, when it was talking about your purpose, and that when you align your life towards like a purpose or a vision, whatever that may be, you just go and carve your path, and it's gonna be easier. The
more momentum you get.
Yeah, the more momentum you gather. So yeah, basic habits 101 thing. And then I had the realization that I've been working for the longest time in my life, I can't remember since when, towards whoa, towards intimacy, deepening intimacy with people, deepening communication, but mainly the main goal is intimacy in a lot of ways in my life. I wish true, intimate connections with people over conversation, activities, or whatever. That just feels the most fulfilling. Okay. At this point, I'd like to share some wisdoms that I gathered around intimacy. So, yeah, I'll begin with one that's been stuck a lot to me, and it's: you can meet somebody only as deeply as you have met yourself. And yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit yourself.
Me?
Yeah, I like your saying, see into me.
Into me, see.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what a lot of people say in the conscious love world. Into me, see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so. This obviously means that somebody, or well, that into me I see, or into me you see.
Mm-hmm.
And both of this, well, it's only possible to look as deeply as I've looked into myself. And actually I believe that another person can possibly see in things, it's usually most the case, that another person can definitely see things in myself that I don't see yet. And by him seeing these things in me, I can become more aware of those things as well, be they like my potential or also wounds. Can be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more of a rule of thumb for me as well. There of course are exceptions to the rule.
Always.
Yeah, always. It's just, yeah, it's difficult to meet someone at the depth, especially when you first meet, at the depth that you haven't met yourself. It's a lot of the time faced with fears, and it's unconscious and stuff. So why I'm saying it, what I'm saying is, intimacy starts with yourself. It's really important to get to know yourself first.
Yeah.
And it can be a
it's-
tricky thing.
It's it's tricky to explain, but as you also said, it can also only be, you can also only be met as deeply by somebody else as you've met yourself. What does that actually mean? And I think it means that, so we all have these layers of conditioning and societal programming on us, on our innermost self, on our soul self. And the deeper we have gone through these layers into our innermost self, the purer obviously we are, or I mean we're all pure, but the more we are connected to this innermost self, so the more clearly and without disruption we can meet another person. So if there's two people who have worked quite a bit through their layers of societal or just earth programming, the more they can meet on a soul level, right? And the closer you are on meeting on a soul level, the deeper your connection is.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
that's been pretty high up, but let me just make the connection to how the journey starts. It's basically you being by yourself, at least in my book, it's you by yourself, and you just ask yourself, what do I want? And there you start. Really, just listening to yourself and what you want and giving it to yourself. It's my beginning of the journey was going along into the cinema. Go for a nice coffee and treat myself for some good food and a change of scenery. It can be pursuing a new hobby, an interest, or whatever. So yeah, really look within yourself what you desire and find those heart desires, something that just resonates deeply with you. And that's a journey. It's not like right away, the moment you start contemplating on what is my passion, what do I truly want, and you just instantly find gold. It can be like that. Not just don't want to discourage you, but also it can be quite the process. It's been for me, and it's still going on.
It's actually beautiful because that's just what the woman whose book I'm reading at the moment wrote as well, that it is actually so important in this life to connect to our deep wishes or desires or dreams, but sometimes you don't even know what that is, and then it's really important not to give up. But I actually did it like this. I was like, I don't really know what my passion is, or I kind of have a clue, but I'm actually really fucking afraid to go after it. So I just made it my passion to find my passion, or to loosen all the knots that keep me from going there. So yeah, actually at some point I did not know what my passion was, so I decided, okay, I'll just make it my passion to find my passion. And it is an ongoing journey, because that's what all my teachers so far said. One day it's one thing, and then you did that thing, and then another thing emerges from that experience.
It's also, it doesn't have to be the same thing all of the time. And it can be like, for example, for me, I thought it's like psychology, discovering the mind. And yeah, for a pretty long time that has been the thing that's been driving me. But I also came to a point where I was like, okay, now what? Doesn't feel that alive anymore, or I need some experiences, and it starts to transform, and also there is opening up room for other things, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
We're at intimacy.
Yeah, of course. So another aspect of intimacy is you can be only intimate with people if you're being honest.
Yes.
Really, that's a must. You gotta be honest, and that also starts with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And I've been. Let's slow down. I'm out of.
We can sit
breath.
down here somewhere.
Anyway, so authenticity, honesty, and radical honesty has been a guide for me. I've read books about it, and even the author and the one that coined the term radical honesty, he himself is also saying that the pursuit of an honest life is a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
You will always uncover more layers. I guess we are just that infinitely deep.
Yeah, and I think because you like it's easy to be honest with some people, or easier, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm honest, it's easy for me, and then you get confronted with other people, with other situations, and maybe it's not so easy to be honest anymore. So
Or with your own family.
yeah, but whoever that is, that's the journey, that you will never encountering the same situation twice, and this is why it's always evolving.
Yeah. Okay.
So honesty. So you mean to become more intimate with yourself? It's important to know what you want and important to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It goes hand in hand, and I mean, those two things already fulfill it pretty well. I'll just spice it up with the last aspect of truly just being present. You can't be intimate with someone if you're not there.
Yeah, and that's actually easily said.
Yeah.
How do you do that, being present?
Well, breath. Being curious. That's an aspect I've touched upon in my how to be charismatic as a sensitive person. You just really gotta search for interesting aspects of the person that you're communicating with, and that same goes for you. How can you make be
curious
interested?
about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And with the
Meet
things that you
yourself
do,
with open eyes.
just really look for where does your own curiosity lie. Yeah.
And yeah,
You got anything else to add?
probably in that regard, just never assume that you know yourself. Like, be curious into getting to know yourself deeper and deeper.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've changed many times, or I feel like I'm, not the same person every day. So, staying open to the person that wants to come out of me, so to say.
Yeah. It's also definitely a journey. There have been times where I was so fed up with myself, fed up with just really looking within me. But there came just a time where I was craving human interaction. And then I started to learn a whole bunch more about myself. So there are times where you really want to seclude yourself to learn about yourself, but also there are times when you really want to go out into the world and interact with it to learn about yourself. So, yeah. I feel like. Do you want to add anything?
No.
Yeah. That's quite it. Okay. Thank you for listening. Being in my outro mode. Thank you for listening. If you have stuck with us until this point, please let me know in the comments. I want to know. You can ask whatever you want. You can also just give me a hi. YouTube logarithm loves interaction in forms of likes and comment and subscription. So yeah, please do if you like this. Anyway, until next time. Bye.
Bye.